Welcome. It is about 1 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, and this is going to be a live analysis show. I've got the clips ready, and so with comments, make sure you're, participating. And at the end of the show, I will answer some writing tips, some comments, whatever you guys want to talk about. I will make sure that you guys are included. So we should get into some of the crazy lines that happened at Budds Creek. To start with was the gnarly hit from Justin Cooper and Hunter. So here, let me open this sucker up here so that it's easier for me to see what is going on. And so here's the riders that we need to look at. You've got Hunter Lawrence on his brand new 2025 Honda, and then Justin Cooper right behind. Definitely Hunter has the right of way because he's a full 2 bike lengths ahead. But let's watch what happens. Boom. Gnarly impact from Justin Cooper here. And Justin Cooper goes down really hard. Thanks to Vital for getting this view here. And Justin Cooper, he posted it as well. But watch how fast he hits the ground. Bam. And he almost tried to get away from it, but Hunter's bike latched onto that Star Yamaha, and you can see that it like drug him down quickly and fast. Inertia right there. I can't believe he got back up. He has to have a mild concussion, and I can't believe he doesn't have a broken collarbone, a separated shoulder, or just a dislocated shoulder. This is a guy that's been running third for the championship, and he was able to get up from this. But if we talk about who was typically at fault, if we go back to what happened here, and truthfully, Hunter's covering his line, but in the air, you can't do anything. Hunter is going outside, inside, because he's going to cover. He's going to go to the inside here. And Justin Cooper is over jumping the jump because he's trying to enter with more speed to try to block pass Hunter because he's got the inside line. And those lines just came together right there. Truthfully, it's just a racing incident, but Hunter was trying to block the line at the last second. He had enough room to where he could have been, after the start, moving way further over quicker so that Hunter would have had the opportunity to check up. And so I definitely want to know what you guys think about that in the comments as well. But boom. Sketchy situation for that one. And if we go to some other mistakes, this one is cool. This one is interesting by Sexton, who is hauling ass and was all over Hunter after this big tabletop to this right-hander. But what ends up happening here is he just comes in super hot, and it's actually his inside foot that takes him down. This rut was incredibly deep. He's doing the right thing. I mean, he is dragging the rear brake. Maybe if he was a little bit more on his toes, the foot peg wouldn't have hit, or the foot peg would have been able to fold a little bit, and he wouldn't have been dragged down. But watch his foot here. Let me zoom in a little bit, and you can see, boom, just explodes the inside part of that rut. And that's what ultimately takes him down. And Sexton's just that rider that is able to just, I don't know, make multiple mistakes and still win races. And I don't really know how to comprehend Sexton's riding ability because he's just a bulldog. I've said it before. He's able to crash and get back up and continue to win races, where before usually he'll crash and then he'll fade. And I really enjoy what Adam Cincerillo, God, by the way, that kid is amazing. He should be on the broadcast all the effing time just because of his analysis, and what he brings to the show is freaking incredible. But getting back to this, I do agree what he said with just what I reiterated, that when he goes down, usually he ends up falling backwards or making another mistake. But here, this really wasn't his mistake. It was just simply overriding the track, and that inside rut just ended up taking him out. So move in here. All right. What is this clip that I had shown on here? Oh, just the sheer strength of these boys. Again, Sexton, the Bulldog, coming out. This is literally the corner that he crashed on, right? This was just a different lap. He's trying to get around Craig right now, but watch in slow motion after he goes from traction to leaned over to just blue groove. And that bike instantly slides out, and he keeps the throttle on, because what typically would happen there is then the motorcycle would end up, you would lose traction, and then it would grab, and whew, you would have this gnarly whip high side, and then when you land, get in that tang slapper, and then you're SOL. But these riders are so incredibly strong that they are able to hold onto these 240-pound motorcycles and be able to be enough loosey-goosey in the air to let that motorcycle itch out and then have it swing back. And he just makes it like nothing happened. He was going to land right behind Craig here, but he ends up swinging almost off the track because of that, and makes it look like it was meant to happen. It's just something I wanted to highlight, because Budds Creek was one of those tracks where it went from really wet to really slippery to soft to choppy, hard pack. It was pretty much all the techniques riding and setting your motorcycle up for downhills, uphills, straightaways, small bumps, choppy bumps. It had everything. So you had to just, I would say, somewhat be a CrossFitter, where you're not good at one thing, you're just exceptional at many things. That's how these bikes should have been set up. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. But here, this was Heusman trying to win, I believe, the first moto here. And dude, he goes down hard. And truthfully, what ended up happening, I had to look back at this because this is such a 60-degree drop off. And there's a nice rut here, and he's trying to get into it. But what ends up happening, and yeah, forgive the 480p, this was already on the TV that was such small, is he's not in this main line, right? It's just all off camber and really thick here. And when you're on the brakes, because he entered faster than he usually would have, that's why he's trying to make the quick adaptation to go to the inside from here, because he's not going to make that inside line, but it's really thick there. So what happens? Boom, he's off, got the front brake going, instant endo, tattoo, land on your head, front flip, just bummer. And he's trying to put a stamp on his season that he can hang with Deegan and he can drop lap times and be faster than Deegan. And so this is just unfortunate for him, because every time he has an exceptional, outstanding ride, something like this happens. You could almost partake it as to what Sexton was doing in the 450 class. I don't really ever remember seeing him do this in the 250 class, but as soon as he got on the big bike, you could see him definitely having some exceptional rides and then tattooing himself to the dirt, which doesn't help your mental confidence whatsoever, or just your body. So here, let me get this back here. And hey, that's a pretty good segue for Coach Rob Beams. He's got a new sweat analysis profile on his store, and it's basically, he's going to look at your sweat. It's going to come back from a lab, and he's going to know what your sweat weight is and how much sodium you lose and electrolytes and what you need as far as carbohydrates for this. I'm pretty much an Energy Fuel, just standard guy, which I love. It's got like almost 300 calories in it per serving, which is great for me for every time I ride an hour to 3 hours, whether it's on a motorcycle or a bicycle. This stuff is amazing. So make sure you're checking out coachrobstore.com. And I really love watermelon. So if you try watermelon, that's definitely my favorite for sure. But got to give it up to the sponsor and the sweat analysis here. So here, moving on. What's the next one we got going here? Oh, Eli Tomac. This was just plain sick, right? Dun, dun, dun. Oh, cafe. Hey, same. Oh, ejection mode. And Dylan says that would have sent me into next week. Hey, appreciate it. Dun, dun, dun. So here we go. I want you guys to focus on Tomac and watch how he's not going to stay in the deep rut. I know a lot of riders, you want to pick a rut and you want to stay in it. You don't want to like pivot off of it. Perfect. Thank you, sweetie. Just getting ready for nap time here. I will get you here in just a bit, cutie. We will later. We will later. You gotta love 3-year-olds. 3-year-olds are amazing to have. I definitely want more kids, but I digress. Let's look at Tomac here. And about those ruts is you'll see a lot of these pros, they will pivot off of them. Just a quick little stop and then accelerate and watch what he does. So he doesn't stay. It's just a perfect road race line where he'll come in, hit the rut, and then come back out because those ruts are real thick and deep. They'll slow you down. It's almost like the berm, right? But what is Tomac doing? He's getting out of that sucker. And then look at him double into that corner and just beautifully done. He was one of just a few riders that I saw do this into this left-hander. And it just shows that Tomac, even time off the bike, the guy is just incredibly exceptional. And you guys can't see what I'm talking about because I don't have it pulled up here. So that is on me. Dun, dun, dun. And Raymond says he needs a nap, dude. I tell you, yeah, man. I got it. I'm on it right here. Okay, so I appreciate you guys. Part of the live show doing this. So here, this is what we're talking about. So pivoting. Watch Tomac right here. Boom. Doesn't follow the rut, and watch him as he doubles into this corner off one of the little checkup bottom end jumps. And the other rider I saw do that was Sexton. But here, we'll watch that one more time for Tomac just because it's so well executed. Boom. All right, so now let's watch Tomac. And no, this is Sexton. Number 4, or should we say Ricky Carmichael? Dude, but this was just sexy. I mean, this definitely it gets your motor running for sure because it just how he comes out here, raw, lands, no brakes, just accelerates around. That is just the most beautifully executed left-hand corner from a jump, land sitting down, weight the outside peg. Look at him. Do you see that ass crack again? Right? He's on his asses, or at least the ass crack is on that side of that seam of the seat so that he's putting the majority of his weight on that outside leg and that foot peg so that he's riding that bike in case something was to happen where the berm was blown out or anything, he wouldn't go down with the motorcycle. Brop, but then watch what he does here. Jumps, lands, brop, accelerates, and jumps. Look at this. Boom, bounce, just bunny hops, and that's how Sexton rides. And that's how that motorcycle's able to move around him is that bike works the best, the faster he goes. Dang, dude, just could watch that all day long. And hey, if I missed because of the whole live show, here's the one that I enjoy, right? Watermelon. Watermelon is the shiznit for sure. But I'll get to some of your guys' comments because I know you guys were all saying that I was having it. Dun, dun, dun. Just showing your face. I know, Jeremy. I know. Minor mistake, but here, I'll just back up just so that I can have that comment on there as well, and you guys can see this. Okay, Tomac, Craig, Jason Anderson. And to be fair, Tomac was the first rider I saw do that, and so he's probably the one that created that nice rut for Sexton to come in here and jump this sucker. But did Sexton do it better? I'd probably say Sexton did it better. Oh, and then Hymas. I got to highlight Hymas's riding ability too. Yes, he looks like Trey Kennard on that CR 250F with the handguards and the fly racing gear. It looks like Kennard. But watch what he does after this big uphill triple. Beautiful, beautiful. And I'll tell you what I see here. Okay, so you've got hard pack. This stuff was super sloppy, and now it's hard, especially on the outside. What is he doing? He's in that attack position, and he is coasting into it. Minor acceleration off the landing of the jump into the corner, but much faster than just slamming on your brakes and trying to hit the inside. Just heading to the outside and picking a nice rut. But you can see, he's moving his body to where that he's weighting that motorcycle so that the balance is perfect. And he's just standing up. He's not sitting down. He's not creating the extra energy expenditure by sitting down and getting bounced around by all of these hard bumps here. He's just accelerating over them, and then he doesn't decide to sit down until he's ready to accelerate and be pivot and straight. So sometimes having it look like you're not going fast is actually going fast, right? There's a few riders that make riding look like you have to be WFO all the time. And then there's a few riders that make it look like you're going slow. And Heusman, the way he rides, I would say is a lot like Kenny. Kenny, when he's going fast, he doesn't look like he's really going that fast. He's bogging the motorcycle here, and it's just this nice, just little acceleration. And Jason says, did you see Deegan hopping down the hill into the rut before the start during Moto 1? Yeah, I should have highlighted that into these deal as well. But and yeah, The Rock says, yep, that's definitely Trey Canard. I agree, brother. But here, let's get back to some of this. All right. So I believe we have Tom Vial in the next clip here. Oh, and this is just back to what I was talking about with Tomac, where the riders are not following the ruts. Okay. It's just like, make a mental note when you go ride again. You might feel like you want to drift wide and use up all the track to just accelerate in a big berm. Don't do it. As soon as you hit that big berm, it's going to slow you down, but you're going to feel like you're going fast because that motorcycle, the RPM is going to go up. And you're just going, rah! It's almost like dragging that rear brake, trail braking around stuff. Sometimes you feel like you're going faster because you can be wide open, but you're not actually. If somebody like Lit Pro, love those guys, had the GPS on there, you could have it proven that you're actually going slower. Same thing here with sometimes of these deep ruts on the off camber. Watch Tom Vial as he comes in here and just doesn't even touch any of it, right? So here, let me slow that down and zoom in just a little bit so we can see it here. Lands, and he's already out of the rut. He's not even driving for it. Boom, because somebody who went here and blew it out, super slow line now, and it's just going to get pushed and pushed and pushed further out. There's less dirt, less friction on the motorcycle to have to push through this stuff. There's plenty of good traction down here. I'm doing it again. Dang it. There's plenty of good traction down here to where here, I did it again. So let me back up. Okay. So I will get better at these quick live shows here, dude. All right. So he is not going to hit that rut / berm. Okay. And here, I'll show you and tell you why. Okay. Because this one is blown out, super blown out, and it's just going to get pushed further and further down there. And it's deeper. There's less dirt here. Again, what I reiterated, less friction on the motorcycle. Look at that body positioning. Okay. Where he's doing the same thing with Sexton. That elbow is up. Maybe he could pick his vision up just a little bit, and he's might be dragging that rear brake just briefly, but he's weighting that outside peg. He is not perpendicular with the motorcycle or parallel with the motorcycle, and he's not following any of the ruts, but he's close enough to it just in case that bike slips out. It's going to have something to grab to, because you will notice a lot of these riders, they will do that, and the bike will get caught on some of those ruts and they'll bounce right off of it. But is it indeed faster to make sure that you are not just driving for the rut? So if you guys want a quick little tip on how to just lower your lap times, it's if you have the option to not hit the berm or the rut, don't do it. Don't do it. It's harder on the motorcycle, and it's more surface area that you have to travel. All right. And then this last one is Hayden Deegan. And this one was hard to see because, again, of the 480p here. But this was in the first moto and also in the second moto. Coming down some of these downhills, just the sheer amount of balance and how well that motorcycle works. Guys, I can't define this with words, how incredibly difficult what he just did is, in fact. Okay, he's accelerating down a hill, picking one line that has been going for 80 yards. That is incredible. Watch how that motorcycle just, I want to say gibbers, just goes back and forth underneath him. Look at him. He's in that attack position, squeezing with his knees, elbows up, and that motorcycle, he's just moving his body back and forth, and he's just in that line beautifully. Where a lot of guys, especially amateurs, and not knocking at you, like I still do this, is sometimes you have to almost come to a complete stop to get your bearings done again, because you're going to cross rut and you're going to jump out of the rut. And if you jump out of the rut, you're SOL, you're done. Right. But this is why this kid is the champion and why he almost won the first moto by 30 effing seconds. Dude, look at that. And look at how well that motorcycle is going over the bumps. It shows that he's not hard on the brakes. Just right there. Boom. That is a huge curb that he just hit. But the suspension just soaks it up because it's free flowing. He's not hard on the brakes. He's more on the throttle than he is the brakes. So that bike is going to work underneath him. Here, we'll watch that one more time, and then I'll answer some of the questions here. Hey, and I appreciate every single one of you guys for joining the live show and the live analysis. So for that, I commend you guys here, because this stuff by any means is I like to share. I like to share it for sure. But here, let's look at Family Tube says that he's still waiting for the Deegan haters to say that his dad bought him the title. I don't know how they're. I sense the humor in that comment, but there's no way that even the sane person, even if you are a Deegan hater, to think that he got the title bought because of just how much he smoked everybody, right? There's, what is that? 11 times 2, 22 motos, and he was able to do it in like 19. Dun, dun, dun. And here, you had another question. Real question. Does Chase still perform this well on a Suzuki? Does Chase still perform this well? I don't get it as far as Chase. Did I say Suzuki or did I say KTM? I don't know. Jeremy's 20 seconds behind. We got some new comments here. Yeah, family. He definitely hardworking kid. You can't beat him. You can be jealous of him, and I think that's the issue that everyone has with him, is they're jealous of him. But there is something to be said with opportunities, right? When success happens, it's when preparation meets opportunity. And there's so many kids in the sport that can have the preparation, but they don't have the opportunity. And that's what creates a sour taste in everybody's mouth. That's almost like you have the preparation, but you don't have the bike. That's why it's so cool to see Ty come full circle by having a factory team and then losing it and then coming back, right? That's what's really cool to see. Yeah, and that's pretty much it, guys. So, hey, quick show. I will try to do these more like on a time basics for noon, so you guys can do. But also in the comments, let me know how you like the live shows and participation versus just the full blown videos that I normally do. But with I don't even know what I'm going to say here, but hey, I appreciate you guys. I'm going to go put this little girl down for a nap. And till next time, keep it WFO. What, kitty?